I want to return to this issue of the migration regulations, protecting Australia's critical technology regulations. I'll just let relevant officials come forward. While they do, the department gave evidence that the instrument that specifies the kinds of technology that would be in scope had not yet been signed. Is that still the case, or has it now been signed?
Senator, that is still the case.
Right. What's the reason for the delay? These regulations were issued in October 2022.
Senator Peter Anstey, Acting First Assistant Secretary, Cybersecurity Policy Division. The migration amendments were updated this year to introduce new powers for the Minister regarding the unwanted transfer of critical technologies. The one outstanding element, as you've identified, is the instrument requiring approval from the government and the Minister's signature.
And so, presumably, it's not operative until that happens?
Correct.
Right, so we have this regime, these regulations are issued, but they're not actually doing anything right now?
They're dormant, that's right, Senator.
Right. What's the delay?
It's a decision of the government, Senator.
Right. When did the department provide a draft for the Minister?
So, Senator, the department's provided advice to the Minister, and it was an issue that impacted a lot of government agencies. So we've embarked on a whole of government process to consult across government, balancing both the prosperity outcomes and the security outcomes from that particular instrument. And government has considered our advice, and we're in a process of implementing that at the moment, but making sure that we're taking appropriate consultation with relevant stakeholders.
When did the department provide the advice?
Well, it was ultimately considered by the government on the 2nd of August.
The 2nd of August this year. So, I mean, you're saying the consultation took place prior to providing that advice, or has now taken place subsequent to that advice being provided?
So, consultation was undertaken prior to the provision of advice from the Department to Government.
Yep.
And then subsequent to Government's consideration, we are now going through the process of implementation, which involves consultation with relevant stakeholders in an appropriate manner.
Right. So what needs to happen prior to that being actioned? Well, are we just waiting literally for a signature from the Minister, or is there some other process that needs to be concluded?
So the ultimate ability to make the instrument law is a signature from the Minister, but prior to that we're working with other departments to make sure that we're communicating it in the right way so that it can be implemented, and including universities.
Right. So do other departments... sorry, just a process question. Does this have to be signed? Is this with the discretion of the Minister, or does it need to go to NSC or Cabinet or something like that?
So it is the discretion of the Minister, but ultimately, given this has whole of government implications, the Minister may choose to take that to a decision from within government, and I gave evidence that occurred on the 2nd of August.
Yeah, but it still hasn't been made since the 2nd of August, which is, 2.5, 3 months ago now.
That's correct.
I mean, this issue of technology transfer is a really pertinent issue for our country in the context of foreign interference and espionage being our #1 security threat, in the context of the AUKUS agreement, in the context of Director General Burgess' comments in California last week that China is waging an industrial campaign of intellectual property theft against Australia. This is one of the key vectors that they use for it. How much longer will it take before the government will do something?
Well, Senator, I can answer that by saying the government is in the process of implementing the appropriate mechanisms to make sure that the regulations are active. We're just going through a deliberative process to do that.
Okay. Hopefully by the time we get to next estimates, that is done. Moving on to another matter.